Finding Neverland, the magical story of the creation of Peter Pan, is coming to Broadway as a musical. We're here at New 42nd Street Studios to talk to the creators and stars of this eagerly anticipated new show. How are things in Neverland land?
Oh, they're pretty good, actually. I think a part of me always lived there anyway, so, you know.
Neverland Land is really lovely. I love Neverland Land.
You are telling the story behind the making of Peter Pan, the original play, so you definitely have magic to do on this one.
Indeed, and I feel I'm sort of finding my soulmate in J.M. Barrie because he was kind of radical in 1904. He said, yeah, I can do things that are not possible.
It's so convenient that the story behind the making of Peter Pan is such a great story, right?
Oh my God, and I'm so lucky. And obviously, as a playwright, I associate with J.M. Barrie, who struggled in this story to find his voice, to find his authenticity.
So you're getting into the head of J.M. Barrie, the guy that wrote Peter Pan. You're like the mad playwright.
He's an incredibly tortured man, someone who's suffers from a severe writer's block, and he had a bad childhood. It forced him kind of to grow up really fast. So coming to this place, we're meeting this family, and it really, they inspire him and help him change his life and to find the inner child inside of him.
What do you see?
You can't believe.
Is it real?
It's a mystery, only make believe.
You may think we're safe on the path, but the grass is the water that's rising too fast.
And our Kensington Park is the biggest liquor.
And this bench is a rock.
And we roll the roof here. Hear the birds sing their beautiful song.
This is a really cool role because you play a British lady in 1904, right? But you're like a cool mom.
I hope so. She loved going to the theatre. She was involved with the amateur productions. She would dress her kids up in costumes and crazy things. And when we meet J.M. Barrie in this story, she is at her lowest, having lost her husband, but they ignite a spark in each other.
The story itself is incredible. The idea that this playwright met this extraordinary family of it's a single mother and her 4 boys who were going through their own crisis, their own grief, and he just began going on adventures with them in the park, this grown man, and the outcome of that was the most amazing, radical at the time story about childhood and about make-believe. So I think I was very lucky as a writer to get given this gift of a real story.
You actually get to play Peter Pan in the show. Spoiler.
I do. Spoiler. I mean, really, is it really much of a spoiler? I do.
Now you're playing the theater producer.
Frohman's a guy from history, Charles Frohman, and put this Peter Pan thing together, which was extraordinary, with J.M. Barrie. It is that relationship that sort of feeds into the idea that he morphs at some point into Hook.
You have to look in your heart, in your soul. You must find the hook in your heart, in your soul, and search every nook in your heart, in your soul. Don't live by the book in your heart, in your soul. We live by the hook.
It's a great family show, but there's a sort of a sexy love story too. I saw some face smushing today.
Some face mushing going on with the lovely Laura Kelly. She's a good one to face mush with.
It's kind of a soulmate love story, which I love. Sylvia Llewellyn Davis, this beautiful widow who finds kind of a soulmate in J.M. Barrie. And finally, they can express their love in the show, and, that's a beautiful moment.
Every word and every sentence doesn't seem to make a difference. Nothing can explain just what you mean to me.
Every shape of the colors from all the lovers, nothing express just what you mean to me.
And I love the music so much because this is pop score, and it kind of, we're in this kind of proprietous world, and they kind of, to blend the two is pretty incredible.
It's set in the early 1900s, but it feels so today, the show.
Yeah, I think they've done that on purpose. The music is very current.
J.M. Barrie was such a revolutionary. He thought differently to other writers of his time. So in his head, things would have sounded different to his time.
From the music to the times to the story to the movement. I mean, it's just all. We married a lot of worlds together and prayed to God that it was right. And I really do believe it is right.
This show definitely delivers on the whole magical thing, doesn't it?
Yes, it does, for sure. I mean, there hasn't been a day in rehearsals that
something hasn't happened to make all of us lose our breath a little bit, or some people are crying, or it's just a very magical show.
Peter Pan is one of my favorite, I guess, fairy tales growing up. So the fact that we get to actually visit the world of how it began is really lovely, because it's a lovely story.
It talks about family and kids and about the power of creativity to save you in your life and take you places you thought you never could go.
I think we all need to sometimes just tap into that inner child and remind ourselves why we got into whatever world we're working in, and to release our natural, authentic self sometimes.
It's so beautiful. Anything's possible. You can fly. Faith. It's nothing like it.